Hello, welcome back. It's a little bit different of a video. I thought I'd kind of switch things up because if you are a business owner, a content creator, all of those things, you know that doing the same thing over and over again gets pretty mundane, pretty boring, and I want to switch things up. And no, I'm not becoming a content creator, makeup tutorial, whatever. If I did, I would start another channel and have another hobby in that channel, but just want to switch things up. So let's get ready. A lot of the things that I talk about are either things that I've gone through myself, are going through myself, or my clients. Things that I see people go through time and time again. And I think we all go through it. You go through it in different ways because everyone's journey is a little different. So one of the things for me that I'm trying to really work on is spending more time on myself. I feel like over the years, after my divorce, I fully dove into myself. I was taking such good care of myself. It wasn't even funny. Facials, going for walks, working out, meditating, acupuncture, affirmations at night, all of the things. And then of course, all of us, life just gets a little busy and we start to lose track of the things that honestly make the biggest difference. I think sometimes we just all need the reminder of what we should be doing. And no, you don't need to necessarily watch a video, but I do think sometimes videos just give you that little bit of motivation or reminder that you needed to get back to you. I just realized I don't have a mic on, so it's gonna sound a little echoey in here, but that's okay. This is just, we're doing a real raw video. Not everything has to be so perfectly edited. And I think everyone loses themselves in different ways during different points of their life. Some people lose themselves in motherhood and that's all that they know. Some people lose themselves in their careers or in their relationships. And focusing back on yourself is a mindful practice, because when you start to focus on yourself, you realize that you've changed, that you're not really the same person that you used to be, and you kind of go through this self-discovery period. When you're coming out of really toxic relationships, narcissistic abuse, all that stuff, you will definitely go through that, unless you're just one of those people that just feels like they're the victim forever and they just never move on. And I have a feeling if you've been watching me for a while, you're just not that kind of person, because we just don't promote that here on this channel. I find at this phase of my life, work over the last probably 5 years has been absolutely crazy in such a good way. But in the beginning, I used to just take everything that would come along. Because when you own your own business, every month could look different. So I would just take every single client that I got. And then eventually I got to the point where I honestly had to be on a wait list, which is a great problem to have. But I would still run myself ragged trying to answer every email, get to every DM, do everything for social media, edit everything, all of those things. And of course I was hiring people to help, but when you really have your own business, especially when it's a small business, you are wearing many hats in order to kind of get yourself going. And I was raised by a single mother. I was raised with very humble beginnings, and I think it kind of motivated me to be as entrepreneurial as I am. Everything that we go through in life is preparing us for who we're supposed to be. And I know it sounds corny, but it really is the truth. You just have to not lose sight of that, because it's very easy to just get into this victim mentality of, why is this happening to me? Why did I get dealt this hand? Why is this my life? And I get it. Some things that we go through are really painful. They're really difficult to go through because it takes a lot of strength and dedication and resilience and all the things that you're probably building right now. The hardest thing was not overcoming that relationship with my ex-husband. It was not building this business. You can physically do a task as long as you know what tasks you have to do. It was believing that I could be financially free. It was believing that I added value to people in order to have a coaching business. It was believing that I deserved a better life than how I was raised. That's your belief system, and that's way harder to work through and deal with than anything else you will ever do in your entire life, because you are reprogramming who you are and how you see not only the world, but yourself. So when you sit back for a second too and you think that your ex has changed, Just know that if it's this hard for you and you have the self-awareness, think of a person who actually has absolutely no self-awareness. It's impossible for that person to change. We get so fixated on this idea of this person changing and becoming different, becoming better without us, or maybe because there was something wrong with us that made this person not be who we wanted them to be. They're gonna go back to exactly who they are, regardless of the person that they're dealing with. I feel like we're going a little all over the place today with this get ready, but that's okay. That's what these are for. They're just like on the cusp stuff. It's not scripted, there's no agenda. I'm not gonna necessarily give you the 3 ways to love yourself. If you need any guidance on how to take better care of yourself, start with self-parenting. I was learning how to really talk myself off the ledge, really, and believe that I was worthy of a great relationship, of a successful business, all of those things. Then I went a little deeper and I saw just how dysfunctional I had been programmed, which had led me to attract my ex-husband and led me to where I was. So I couldn't blame him for what he did because he's dysfunctional and he was unhealthy, and that's his stuff. I had to take full responsibility for the fact that I participated in that relationship. I said yes when he proposed. I moved in with him. I'm the one that agreed to go on a second date. So what was going on inside of me that made me want to even do those things? That's what I wanted to figure out. And all of that had everything to do with stuff that I had gone through prior to even meeting him. Only the real grown-ups want to take that level of responsibility for themselves, because that means that you actually have to do the work. It means that you can't blame anyone else regardless of what they do to you. And I was kind of over the whole, okay, he's narcissistic, okay, he's this, like, who cares? I don't care how dysfunctional he was. He was no longer in my life. All that did was give me a little validation that this wasn't about me. And that is helpful, and you need that when you're healing, but it's not the only thing that you need. You also need to take responsibility for yourself, your actions, and your life going forward, because now the relationship's over and you have to rebuild. And no one's there to really help you to do that. You can have family and friends support you, but you still have to be a big girl, a big boy, and do the work yourself. I swear, when I started really taking responsibility for myself in that way, it changed my life. I felt so much happier and freer, really learning how to parent myself, like really learning what does it mean to be healthy? How should I be taking care of myself? How have I been expecting other people to show up in my life and in unhealthy ways that they shouldn't be, because it's not their responsibility to? It sounds like easy stuff, but try healing that stuff. Try dealing with all of your demons day in and day out in those ways. It's not easy to do because you are reprogramming yourself, and that does not just happen overnight. That takes consistency and it takes effort. And you have to know what you should be doing, what effort you should be putting in order to get the kind of results that you want, which is a person who is self-sufficient in a healthy way, a person that can ask for help, a person that can be vulnerable in relationships, a person that can take care of themselves mentally and emotionally. Like, none of those things that I just described, you were taught. And this is where I hate saying it, but unless you actually invest in yourself, it's just about being consciously aware of what you should be doing every single day. But we all need the handhold. I mean, how many times in my life have I hired a coach myself? How many times in life have I hired a personal trainer? Sometimes we just need someone in our corner just to like help us start. I can't even tell you how much that can change you mentally and everything, just totally change your energy. That first sip is so good. I don't care who you are, if you're a CEO and you make, millions and millions of dollars, or if you're just like a stay-at-home mom and you're with your babies this morning, everyone needs to get up and feed their mind. I'm sorry, because not every day are you excited for the day. Not every day are you gonna believe that it can happen for you. Not every day are you gonna want to go after your goals, or just even learning how to enjoy your day is a skill. I swear I'm trying to get better at not opening my mouth and catching flies while I'm doing this. I think I'm doing a good job. All right, you guys, that is it. I'm gonna start my client calls. I hope you enjoyed this like kind of different, more chill, slow down video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.